I call to order the meeting of the Salem Housing Authority for the City of Salem for Monday, February 27th, 2023. Would the recorder please call the roll?
Commissioner Nishioka is absent. Filling in for her this evening is guest counselor Evan Manville. Vice Chair Phillips.
Here.
Commissioner Gwynn.
Here.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Here.
Commissioner Hoy.
Here.
Commissioner Nordyke.
Here.
Commissioner Varney.
Here.
Chair Stapleton.
I'm here. Well, tonight we have something special for you all. We have a couple of members of our Troop 19 here who are going to come down and help us lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you guys could come on down. And everybody, if you could please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. It's always nice to mix it up a little bit. All right. Tonight we have the election of our vice chair. Do we have any nominations? I guess you're a commissioner, Commissioner Varney.
I would like to nominate Commissioner Phillips.
Second. Great. Thank you so much. Is there any discussion or any other nominations? Okay, seeing none, can we call the roll, please?
Vice Chair Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Gwynn.
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Aye.
Commissioner Hoy.
Aye.
Commissioner Nordyke.
Aye.
Commissioner Varney.
Aye.
Commissioner Nishioka absent. Chair Stapleton.
Aye. All right, motion passes. Thank you so much for serving. It's always great to have you. And I look forward to the next year again serving with you.
Thank you very much. I'll do my best.
Yes, I always do. All right, Vice Chair, do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda tonight?
Not tonight.
Great. And we have nobody signed up for public comment. Vice Chair, the consent calendar.
I move the consent calendar, which consists of 3.1A, the January 23, 2023 draft Salem Housing Authority minutes, and item 3.2A, which includes the grant agreement between the Housing Authority of the City of Salem and the City of Salem for the Homeless Rental Assistance Program. And I think that concludes the consent agenda.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Gwynn. Is there any discussion at all? Any questions? All right, recorder, if we could please call the roll.
Commissioner Gwynn.
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Aye.
Commissioner Hoy.
Aye.
Commissioner Nordyke.
Aye.
Commissioner Varney.
Aye.
Commissioner Nishioka absent. Vice Chair Phillips.
Aye.
Chair Stapleton.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you so much. All right, we do not have any public hearings, no special orders of business, but we do have an information report. And Nicole Utz is here. Would you like to lead us off with just highlights of what we have going on? Maybe share with the public who's here who haven't had a chance to look at that report for us.
Good evening, I'm Nicole Utz. I'm the Housing Administrator for Salem Housing Authority. And on tonight's program management report, we have a discussion regarding our update on moving to work status. As of February 1st, 2023, the Salem Housing Authority is officially designated a moving to work HUD agency, and we're very proud to hold that designation. Our ACC, or our Amendments Annual Contributions contract has been signed by HUD and the Housing Authority to execute that amendment and that designation. With that designation comes a future withholding for us at the Housing Authority for us to expand our services, help the community in more innovative and creative ways. We are working with HUD technical assistance at this time. In fact, one of my meetings today was with our technical assistance coordinator. So in the future, you will see new moving to work Housing Authority plans as opposed to our old Public Housing Authority plan. Some new and information that will come with that, and it'll probably have a new look. So a lot to come in the future, as well as we will be more involved in community engagement, and we hope to be bringing more of this information out to the community as well as to the commissioners. As well as you can see a homeless rental assistance update on the back. I wanted to take a special note that our outreach team has been able to connect 16 unhoused individuals for the Yaquina Hall. And for those of you who are not aware, we are planning a grand opening event for Yaquina Hall. We're excited to have that in April of this year. We're looking forward to start placing individuals in that building first part of May. And so as of the 52 units, 20 of those are designated serious and persistent mental illness. So we're working with collaborative and community partners, and we're excited to bring that to light. Also wanted to give you an update on Sequoia Crossings. We are about a week and a half ahead of schedule, which is phenomenal in this market and the conditions currently. And all of our windows have arrived on site, so we're excited to have those safely secure. And here, that's been a challenge for us with Yaquina Hall.
Great, thank you so much. I was knocking on wood when you were saying you were a week and a half ahead of schedule.
Well, I did say that week and a half was before our latest weather event. So.
Of course, yes. Well, I have a few questions. I'm not sure if other commissioners, if you all have questions for Nicole. I was wondering if you could give us an update on your hiring. I know you have been hiring a lot of different positions, and that has been a concern in the past. So could you give us an update on that?
Absolutely. I'm happy to let everybody know that we've actually filled quite a few of those positions. And just today I did one of the latest approvals is for a communications program coordinator, which is very exciting for me. That will help connect with community engagement events. But we have filled our IT manager position, 2 assistant housing administrator positions, an asset manager, a program property management supervisor, a maintenance foreman. We've also recently filled the Yaquina Hall mechanic and property manager position to get them on board and trained ahead of time before the opening. We have hired a special programs manager, and we have concluded with all 5 outreach navigators have been hired. We are working on reviewing the rest of the positions as we continue in our restructuring and rebranding process. We've also put an engagement out for attorneys for the 501c3 nonprofit with our real estate attorney.
Great, that's a lot of work. I know behind the scenes, hiring folks and getting them trained up, I know that it was desperately needed. So I'm really happy for you that you've managed to hire all these people, and I'm sure the training will go just as smoothly.
Yes.
And I'm really happy that our team is filling out. On our agenda tonight, we have this $630,000, which is a grant from the City of Salem, to you all to kind of help with the HREP program. And there's been some conversation about the fact that we're kind of changing how we're still doing the work of HRAP, but we're changing the verbiage around it. So could you give the community just a little bit more information about how that's changing and how it's staying the same and the work is continuing?
Absolutely. So in 2017, when Homeless Rental Assistance Program was created in conjunction with the Housing Authority in the City of Salem, our goal was to find a sustainable way to maintain this program long-term and not fully rely on the City of Salem funding to keep that program alive forever. So we put this program in place to help build collaborative relationships and partnerships in the community. We've been very successful. We've helped over 300 individuals. 112 of those have moved on into the Section 8 voucher program. We've maintained an 85% success rate. But the goal of the program has changed as we've continued to build those collaborations, and there's now Arches Inn, Navigation Center, Yaquina Hall, Redwood Crossings, and additional special programs, vouchers. That was our goal, is to continue to apply for resources to fund their long-term rental assistance, which is one of the barriers that was involved in this program. What we're doing is removing that rental assistance funding from our grant option because we feel we can fulfill that with our own voucher, federally funded assisted programs, as well as our permanent supportive housing project-based voucher programs as well. So the program itself is not going away. We're actually growing with this program into what we call special programs. We've added landlord navigation, a full-time landlord navigator that spends 40 hours a week engaging with landlords into the community. We've added Redwood Crossings. We're about to open Yaquina Hall. We're providing this same resource and continuing to be out there in the community and outreaching with individuals and connecting them to coordinated entry, such as the 16 that were on the Yaquina Hall waiting list. It is very difficult to navigate our federal programs, and as much as we try to streamline that, we have a regulatory obligation to complete the necessary paperwork, get the necessary documents. It's very difficult for somebody who's lost their ID several times due to their backpacks being stolen. That this is the goal of this team, is to ensure that they have that additional assistance and navigates them through all the complicated government process to get into our programs. We've been very successful. We've been housing about anywhere from 2 to 4 a week since we've redesigned this program.
That's fantastic news. Thank you. And for those of you who don't know, we look at homelessness a lot in the 3-bucket idea, where we have preventing homelessness, managing homelessness, and ending homelessness. And I think you've really talked a lot just then about ending homelessness, but I know that you guys are also doing a lot of work on preventing homelessness. And you and I talked a little bit about the work that you've been doing over at the Orchard View Apartments, and I would love for you to share just what you can with the group here on how you are working there to help prevent homelessness for so many in our community.
Absolutely. So on the Orchard Park Apartments was scheduled to come out of affordability. Actually, their affordability ended at the end of last year, and so that means it expired, and all of those rents in a 3-year period of time could go up to market rate rents. We were the first right of refusal option through the state of Oregon through a program called PUSH, which is a preservation initiative. And we took that very seriously. We do not want to lose these 224 affordable housing units in the Salem community. It would have a very big impact for all the families that live in that community itself. But on top of that, we have nearly 80-some vouchers at any given time, voucher holders that are utilizing their vouchers there. If that project went to a market rate complex, they potentially would not be able to use their voucher if we couldn't meet that rent comparable for that place. So we've been working with a development team that has worked very diligently with the owner of this property to put in a market rate offer for the complex to preserve it. The Housing Authority is coming in with its first pilot project of trying to be a special limited partner that eventually the Housing Authority will be able to sustain some of our development initiatives and provide capital for the future by being a part of what is called a waterfall effect. If the project is making funding, that funding will also come to the Housing Authority as well. We just won't have to be the architectural design and put on into the construction and progress accounts to make this happen, but we're also going to be heavily involved in the resident services to ensure that everybody is relocated during the rehab. It's still a work in process. We still haven't received the grant, and we're looking forward to April to hear the news whether we're going to be able to make this one happen.
Great, thank you. Is there any other questions? I tried to kind of highlight 3 things. Nicole and I had an hour-long conversation just talking about all the work that they are doing, and I tried to pick some of the ones that I'm most excited about, and I think folks really need to hear what they're doing because you're doing so much. So thank you very much. Commissioner Nordick.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you and your entire team for all the work that you do. A comment and a question. This morning I had a constituent call from a resident who's very concerned about what we are doing to support persons experiencing homelessness who struggle with mental illness specifically. And I was able to mention, well, as a matter of fact, we're working on Yaquina Hall right now. And I'm wondering, can you talk a little bit more? How do you decide which of those individuals who is struggling with mental illness, who is lucky enough to earn a spot in Yaquina Hall? Because we know that the Oregon State Hospital does not have the capacity or really the legal authority it needs to house individuals struggling with mental illness. So there are a lot of folks who used to be at the state hospital who received care there who no longer go to the state hospital, which means communities like ours are left wondering, what do we do? So I'm just curious, how do we vet and decide which of those individuals will be selected for a bed at Yaquina Hall?
That's a great question. I will tell you that those 20, those will all come to the Housing Authority through a referral process from community partners, such as Marion County Mental Health. Arches is another one. They'll do the vulnerable assessment. They'll be assessed outside of the Housing Authority and referred in for those specific units. That takes the fair housing situation out of Salem Housing Authority not being the one to handpick who is residing into the building.
And I take it you'll have no difficulty keeping those beds full based on what you're hearing from community partners?
Yes, we'll be able to certainly keep that building full, I'm sure, at all times.
Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. All right, if there are no other questions, then we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Call this meeting of the Urban Renewal Agency for the City of Salem for Monday, February 27, 2023 to order. If the recorder will please call the roll.
Board Member Stapleton.
I'm here.
Board Member Nishioka absent. Guest Counselor Manville.
Here.
Board Member Phillips.
Here.
Board Member Gwynn.
Here.
Board Member Gonzalez. Here. Board Member Hoy.
Here.
Board Member Nordyke.
Here.
Board Member Varney.
Here.
Chair Hoy.
Here. And Councilor Stapleton, do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Not tonight.
Thank you. Consent calendar, Councilor?
I move approval of the consent calendar.
I second.
Thank you. Tonight, we have quite the consent calendar. I'm going to tell you, well, first of all, item 3.1A is the February 13th, 2023 draft urban renewal agency minutes. And then we're going to head into a little bit of Groundhog's Day, just a tiny bit here. So I'm going to read this first one, and then I'm going to let you know for which area we're going to be doing the same thing. So item 3.2A is authorizing the assurance and negotiation sale of the Jory Apartments TIF District Short-Term Urban Renewal Bond Series 2023. And then we have the same thing going for item 3.2B for the Mid-Gilchrist Urban Renewal area, item 3.2C for the Mill Creek Industrial Park area, and then 3.2D for the North Gateway Urban Renewal area, item 3.2E for the Riverfront Downtown Urban Renewal area, 3.2F for the South Waterfront Urban Renewal area, and item 3.2G for the West Salem Urban Renewal area, and that concludes our consent calendar.
Thank you, Councilor. Is there any discussion? Ms. Rutherford, would you care to explain to us before we vote on this what we're going to be doing and why we're doing this?
Happy to. Kristen Rutherford, Community and Urban Development Director. So urban renewal law in Oregon does not allow you to collect tax increment and directly spend the tax increment. The law requires that you have a debt instrument, and this is our debt instrument that we use. We also have options of doing long-term bonding for much bigger projects. That's what we did for the convention center. But in the absence of a really, big, very expensive project, we tend to do the du jour bonds.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Councillor Nordyke.
Sure. Actually, Director Rutherford, I was hoping to go just a wee bit further. Can you give us an example of the kinds of things that urban renewal funds can be spent on?
Absolutely. Urban renewal funds are limited to bricks and mortar improvements or plans and studies tied to infrastructure improvements. So we can use it for our own projects, or we can provide grants for projects.
Any further discussion? If the recorder will please call the roll.
Board Member Phillips.
Aye.
Board Member Gwynn.
Aye.
Board Member Gonzalez.
Aye.
Board Member Hoy.
Aye.
Board Member Nordyke.
Aye.
Board Member Varney.
Aye.
Board Member Stapleton.
Aye.
Board Member Nishioka is absent. Chair Hoy.
Aye. Motion passes. We have no public hearings. We have no special orders of business, but we do have an information report. Are there any questions or comments on the information reports? All right. Seeing no further business before the Urban Renewal Agency, we are adjourned.
You can make a short pause before the council meeting so she can start the recording.
Thank you. And we'll just take a short pause for technical issues. Will you tell me when? All right. Looks like we're ready to go. Call this meeting of the City Council for the City of Salem for Monday, February 27th, 2023 to order. If the recorder will please call the roll.
Councillor Stapleton.
I'm here.
Councillor Nishioka absent. Guest Councillor Manville.
Here.
Councillor Phillips.
Here.
Councillor Gwynn.
Here.
Councillor Gonzalez.
Here.
Councillor Hoy.
Here.
Councillor Nordyke.
Here.
Councillor Varney.
Here.
Mayor Hoy.
Here. All right. Councillor Stapleton, are there any additions or deletions from the agenda?
Yes, we have item 1.4A, which is going to be a presentation from the Polk County Sheriff about the upcoming levy, is going to be pushed out to our March meeting. And I did not note the date of the March meeting that we're going to be doing this on.
The 27th.
Perfect, the 27th. And that's all we have for deletions.
We need a motion, don't we? Could you form that in a motion, please?
Yes, I move that we move the presentation for the item 1.4A from the Polk County Sheriffs about the Polk County levy renewal to the March 27th meeting.
Second.
Any further discussion? Will the recorder please call the roll?
Councillor Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councillor Hoy.
Aye.
Councillor Nordyke.
Aye.
Councillor Varney.
Aye.
Councillor Stapleton.
Aye.
Councillor Nishioka absent. Councillor Phillips.
Aye.
Councillor Gwynn.
Aye.
Mayor Hoy.
Aye. Motion passes. And we are on to council and city manager comments. I would like to start by taking a moment of silence to honor those who have lost their lives on the streets of Salem this year. In 2022, there were 522 unhoused decedents in Oregon, including 45 in Marion and Polk counties. More than half of those who died were younger than 55, and more than 20% were women. We've had several losses this year as well, and I would like to take a moment just to acknowledge them and honor them. Thank you. Are there any other councilor comments? Councilor Hoy.
Living where I live and working where I work, I've got quite a list of recent interactions with homeless, drug-addicted, and mentally ill persons. Graffiti and crime are also up in our area, including a domestic violence police standoff situation just around the corner from my business last Saturday night. All that said, this one story stands out. Last Friday morning, I attended the Salem Area Chamber of Commerce Greeters meeting. It was hosted by WorkSource Oregon. Approximately 90 members were in attendance. We met at the Chemeketa Center for Business at the corner of High and Union. At about 9 a.m., a young man in some kind of psychosis appeared outside the window. He was obviously struggling, gesturing and yelling. I had observed him as I parked my car, face down, running his mouth around the base of the crossing light at the corner. I was not the only one distracted by the man's behavior. I thought perhaps coffee and a donut would get him to move away from the window. I entered the hallway in time to follow the security guard out the door. We observed the man from a distance until he grew louder and more aggressive. The security guard announced, "You need to leave." The man yelled something back just as the bus pulled up to the curb. The man boarded the bus, which appeared otherwise empty. He made his way near the back and didn't sit. As the bus pulled away, I could see he was still rambling and gesturing. The other person waiting for the bus at the time announced, "I'll wait for the next one." The thought in my head at the time was, well, he's Chariot's problem now. But that just isn't enough. I wonder how it ended for the driver, or if anyone else boarded the bus and how it went for them. Is the man a danger to himself or others? I believe so. Is he capable of asking for help? I don't think so. The disturbed man was not just the driver's problem. In truth, he's our problem. He's the city's problem, the county's problem, and the state of Oregon's problem. We must work together to make things better for everyone. I'll do anything I can to help. We all deserve better, especially the rambling, gesturing, troubled man.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Stapleton.
Thank you. I have a couple of different things, and I'm trying to transition smoothly, which is, Councilor Hoy, you bring up so many times every meeting, you bring up really heart-stirring issues and stories, and so I just want to honor that before I move on to something else. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. I will start with something else that was hard for me, and I think that now is a good time. I have been struggling lately with the new report from the CDC that came out this month, and I bring this up today because we're going to be honoring women for this next month, and we just had some really hard news that was released, especially for our teen women who are experiencing a lot more sexual violence these days. We have 1 in 5 teen girls are experiencing sexual violence in this past year, and that's up 20% from 2017. And 3 in 5 girls have felt persistently sad and hopeless in 2021, up 60% from 2011. And 1 in 4 girls have reported seriously considering attempting suicide in 2021, and that's up 60% as well from 2011. So I have a kiddo who's starting high school this next year, so this news hit me pretty hard, and so I just wanted to bring it here to highlight the issues surrounding sexual violence in our community and in our world, and also just again that need for mental health services is everybody needs it these days, and so I wanted to start there, and then I wanted to shift to some better and more exciting news. I know that we are having a celebration for Women's History Month at the library on March 19th at 2 p.m., and it's called She's Speaking Live, and it's going to be a great event. I have it on my calendar. I hope to see people there. And then I also wanted to highlight this, and I will bring it up from under my desk. This is our Spanish one. And this is our English one. So this is a campaign that we are doing here at the city. It's called We Belong. And you're gonna start seeing these around your neighborhood. And each of these photos, there's ones for each different neighborhood association. So it's really fun to be a counselor and see the photos that were taken for your wards and in the different areas and neighborhood associations. And this is part of the money that we set aside this last year, thanks to Counselor Phillips. Your motion to get some funds set aside for better communications with our communities about neighborhood associations. And so this is in an effort to get people to know about neighborhood associations, to participate and have their voice heard in those areas, and just learn what the city is doing. It's a really great place to go and get updates from police officers and from city staff and from your counselor. So when you see those around town, that's what those are about. If you are already passionate about this kind of thing, I would love to have one placed in your yard as well. You can contact the city and get your own sign and choose from a great number of wonderful pictures of our residents here in Salem. So I will stop there and pass it off.
Thank you, Counselor.
Yeah.
Other comments? Counselor Phillips.
Thank you. This is kind of just basic stuff. So last week on Wednesday and Thursday, both days where we had the weather event, I was working in the emergency room. Fortunately for me, on Thursday I worked at noon, but I got to see, the city public works out there doing their job in terms of, treating the roads, getting them clear on the major arterials well before my shift started on Thursday. And really, it was just quite impressive given the snowfall that we had, how easy it was to get to and from work. And I know that doesn't happen by accident, so I want to thank everybody involved in that, Public Works and anyone else. I know it's a busy day for first responders, a couple of days, so I appreciate everybody there. Thank you, both counselors who spoke before me on highlighting all of those important issues. Some really powerful things were brought up, and I second both of those comments. And then I do want to take a moment to really express my gratitude for having our scout troop here tonight. As a former Eagle Scout, I think it's really important to get involved in your local community. So I thank you guys for attending tonight and leading us off on the Pledge of Allegiance. That was pretty cool to see.
Thank you, Counselor. Once an Eagle Scout, always an Eagle Scout. You're not a former Eagle Scout.
That's true. There you go.
All right.
Thanks for cleaning that up for me.
No problem. Guest Counselor Manville.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just briefly, this last Saturday, I had a nice chance. My niece is in town, and she wanted to go for a walk. And she said, "Oh, let's go to Minto Brown. That's near you." And I said, "Okay." And it was a delightful sunny afternoon, a crowded day, walking along the path. And we were able to walk through the park and up to and over the Minto Bridge. And that bridge didn't exist when I first moved here. And it just made me really grateful for the dedication of the city, former mayors, former city councilors, and all of you in your dedication to improve the city and make it a more wonderful place. It made me proud to show that off and share that experience with my niece. So thank you for your service to the city.
Thank you, and thank you for highlighting that, and thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Councilor Nordyke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to my counselors and guest counselor for your comments. Thank you for showing up. I look forward to hearing your comments tonight as well as our new guest counselor. Don't be shy. So we had a major weather event recently, and I just want to remind folks that the city is working closely with community partners every time we have a major weather event. Earlier, this council voted to send $150,000 towards the operation of a warming network. That's not enough to cover it, but it is enough to help a lot. One of our partners, the Mid-Willamette Valley Community Action Agency, has emergency warming services available. And they are always looking for volunteers because just opening a shelter when it gets cold enough doesn't mean anything if there aren't any people there to staff it, to greet people, to make them feel welcome, to make people feel safe. So you can always you can always go online and see how you can support that. Also, our Salem Housing Authority is accepting donations of new gloves, new socks, packaged hand warmers, and new backpacks. These are warming essentials for people who are living on the streets right now. And we are accepting those donations at our very own Salem Housing Authority Administrative Office, which is 360 Church Street Southeast between 8 a.m. and 4:30. Another thing that I'm really looking forward to is the latest and greatest advancements in our Yaquina Hall Permanent Supportive Housing Project. I encourage you to tune in to our Salem Housing Authority meetings. They don't get as much attention as our city council meetings, but that is where the rubber meets the road. That is where a lot of the affordable housing work that is being done in the city of Salem takes place in a public setting. You can always sign up to give comment. You can always ask your members of the Salem Housing Commission, how are things going? Are there affordable housings in your neck of the woods? Do you know of people who might be interested in partnering with us in the private sector? We have a number of public-private partnerships to build affordable housing, even if it's just a handful of units. Those handful of units can still change a handful of lives. So I highly recommend you follow up on that. Yaquina Hall, we are still working on that project, but we are hopeful to be move-in ready by April of this year, which I cannot wait for. And importantly, it includes beds for persons who are struggling with mental illness, which is a huge challenge. And as a side note, I can't wait to see what the legislature does with the Oregon State Hospital funding. When we underfund hospitals, when we underfund mental health services, that means we have more people on the streets without care, without someone to ensure that they're taking their medication as directed, without someone to ensure they have a safe place to sleep every night. And we have a lot of individuals who deserve hospital level care, but who do not have access to hospital level care. So talk to your legislators and tell them if mental health care is a priority to you. Other than that, I look forward to the economic development report tonight. Again, it's a small thing. It doesn't typically get a lot of attention, but our city is doing a lot to support our local business community. And I recommend everyone take a look at just some of the things that we are doing in terms of supporting businesses in the area. One example would be the Yamasa Corporation. You may know them by Yamasa Soy Sauce. They're going to be expanding their project and investing $10 million into this expansion. And we are working with them to make that happen, which means more jobs and more prosperity for Salem with a business that's called Salem home for quite some time. So looking forward to our discussion tonight, as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other discussion? I would also just like to mention that Councilors Stapleton and Gonzalez and I went to the ribbon cut or the groundbreaking for the new. Councilor Nordike. Thank you to the groundbreaking for Dev Northwest, which is a veterans housing project that we approved. It seems like so long ago, and there were several delays, but they're actually starting to get to work on that project. So that'll be affordable, permanent supportive housing for veterans there at D and Cottage. So that's an exciting project. And it was very nice to have. I'm sorry?
I have some comments too.
Okay, as soon as I'm done. It was very nice also to have the director of the Oregon Housing and Community Services there, Andrea Bell, to join us and say a few words. That was nice that we're receiving the attention of the state folks in charge of housing. So, all right, Councilor Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to say hi to all the troops, all the scouts. I was always wanted to join, but my parents never let me. So I was always in awe, and always in awe of Eagle Scouts like you, Councilor Phillips. But also wanted to thank Officer Hardy. He was my partner for the ride-along, and it was really interesting to see how they respond to calls. It sort of shows how they become really reactive, and they're just trying to do their best to prioritize calls as they come in. There'd be a few calls, and all of a sudden 11 or 16 calls shows up on his screen. It was really interesting to see, and he apologized because it was uneventful, nothing really exciting happened, and I told him that's perfectly fine, that wasn't my goal. His partner was not Vin Diesel, so I just wanted to sort of get of what he was going, or what their normal day looks like. And I really invite anybody from the community, especially the councilors. I asked him if this was something they want us to participate in, and he said he did. They really appreciate when we're able to, as best as we can, see what they're seeing on a regular basis. So I encourage everybody to ask to do it. It was really worth my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other comments? All right. We are on then to proclamations, and I would like to invite my colleagues from wards 1, 4, 6, 7, and 8 up to the front so we can do a proclamation recognizing March as Women's History Month. Excellent. Wherever you want to be. Very good. All right, here we go. Whereas the 2023 Women's History Month theme is celebrating women who tell our stories, this theme recognizes women past, present, and present who have been active in all forms of media and storytelling, including print, radio, TV, stage, screen, blogs, podcasts, news, and social media. And whereas women have historically brought the gifts of healing and hope to their families, workplaces, and neighborhoods as counselors, artists, teachers, doctors and nurses, and mothers and grandmothers, whereas too often throughout history, women were unsung and sometimes their contributions went unnoticed. but the achievements, leadership, and courageousness of women have been a source of strength and inspiration. And whereas today's women continue carrying forward the mission of ensuring that our daughters have the same opportunities as our sons, women of the labor movement are achieving monumental reforms to help all workers secure the better pay, benefits, and safety they deserve. And whereas women are making history every day and will continue to do so in ways that will change our city, county, state, and country for the better. Now therefore, I, Chris Hoy, Mayor of the City of Salem, do hereby proclaim March 2023 as Women's History Month and encourage all people of Salem to honor the contributions of women of every race, class, and ethnic background who are essential to the progress of our city and our nation. Dated this 27th day of February 2023. And I am so honored to present it to all of the colleagues, our new majority on City Council of women for the first time in our city's 165-year history. Thank you, councilors.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess I'll say a couple of things. We just found out we were doing this, so I didn't prepare any words, but it's just a privilege and an honor to serve with you all and to be a part of that really monumental, I guess, event for Salem. And I'm sad that Councilor Nishioka is not here, but we are thinking about you wherever she is at. And Australia? Okay. She's gallivanting around the globe right now. So yes, thank you, and I want to receive this just for myself as far as for all the young women in our city. I see you every day. I think about you every day. I do this for you, and as we say in my house, I'm a mother of millions, and I do believe that. You don't have to birth children to be a mother. You don't have to do any of that. You just, us women have a natural ability to mother, and I just really have enjoyed that aspect of my life. Just being here to help usher in a new and more equitable and beautiful world for those who are coming up behind us. So I know, Nikki, you have something, but anybody else?
I just wanted to say March 14th is this year's Equal Pay Day. And Equal Pay Day is the symbolic day when women's pay catches up to men's pay the previous year. So women are making about 83% of what men do in the same jobs. And the disparity is even greater for women of color. For example, for Asian Pacific Islander women, the date is May 3rd. For Black women, it's September 21st. For Latinas, it is October 8th. And for Native Americans, November 30th, because at that point, it's 51 cents on the dollar. Just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Councilor. Thank you for the proclamation. And I echo that, and thank you so much for putting out the racial and ethnic disparities that are particularly pronounced for women. We all know women were severely impacted by the pandemic, but especially women of color. So to all of you out there who identify as women, your allies, let me offer this advice. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't be up here. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't run your own company, that you can't be president, that you can't do whatever you want. And if they still say no, you haven't talked to me.
Thank you. All right, item 1.4A was removed from our agenda, so we are on to public comment. Lori Doherty, are you with us online?
Yes, I am.
Great. You have 3 minutes. If you'd introduce yourself and your ward for the record, that would be great.
Thank you, Mayor Hoy and City Councilor. My name is Lori Doherty. I live in Ward 1. I'm speaking on behalf of 350 Salem, Oregon, the local chapter of International Climate Justice Organization, 350.org. We support Agenda Item 5B, Mayor Hoy's motion to direct staff to return to City Council with a plan to implement paid on-street parking in the downtown parking district and phase out the parking district tax. Paid downtown parking is recommended by Goal TL24 in the Salem Climate Action Plan under Objective 3, incentivize active commute modes. Emissions from vehicles are the biggest source of climate-changing greenhouse gas emissions in Salem and beyond. Measures that reduce automobile use will benefit the climate and help Salem meet our climate goals. When priced according to demand, paid on-street parking encourages a shift to public transit, walking and bicycling. It will encourage more use of the parkades. It will ensure that there will be sufficient open parking spaces distributed throughout the area for short-term needs and for people with mobility challenges. Paid parking ensures turnover, making parking spaces available and reducing the need to circle block after block looking for a parking space. Downtown businesses will no longer be burdened with the parking tax and will no longer need to factor the cost of that tax into prices for their goods and services, benefiting both businesses and consumers. Downtown paid on-street parking will generate revenue for the Downtown Parking Fund, which for fiscal 2023 has a deficit of $228,020. According to the City of Salem budget in the Downtown Parking Fund, the primary revenue sources as of now, daily and monthly parking permits and the downtown parking tax, support maintenance and operations of 3 city-owned parking garages, police bicycle patrol, and a variety of cleanliness and beautification services for the downtown area. Equity is an important consideration. Discounts or subsidies can be provided to low-income people for parking. In 2016 analysis, Portlanders for Parking Reform pointed out that car ownership itself is very costly, and most low-income people do not drive into downtown Portland. They bike, walk, or use public transit. It should also be noted that many other people do not drive due to youth, old age, or disability, yet everyone indirectly pays for the cost of maintaining free parking. Donald Shoup, Distinguished Research Professor in the Department of Urban Planning at UCLA, has researched the cost of free parking for decades. His 2005 book, The High Cost of Free Parking, sparked ongoing discussion and policy change. A more recent and much shorter article analyzes the variables to consider when pricing curb parking. A link to that article and other resources is in the written comment that I submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. I appreciate your testimony. I turned my mic off there for a second. I don't normally do that. Are there any questions for Ms. Doherty? All right, thank you. And council, that is it for item 3, but we do have 2 people signed up under item 8. If there's no objection, I would like to call them forward now so they don't have to sit through our entire meeting if they don't want to. Does that work for everybody? Great. So I will call up first Adam, I'm sorry, is it Adam Ray? Ray. Come on up to the podium. You can both come up, sure. And Grace, so Adam Ray and Grace Perry. You're going to go right up to that podium. You're going to hit the little button to make the green light come on. You're going to tell us your names and either your address or your ward numbers, and then you're going to go ahead and tell us what you'd like to tell us. You have 3 minutes. Hit the button on right here and turn the mic on. There you go. Perfect. Introduce yourselves, please.
So my name is Grace Perry, and I'm from South Salem, and my parents, while I was whispering to me on the way up, I'm in Ward 4, apparently.
Nice job, parents.
Hello, my name is Adam Rigg, and I'm from Kaiser.
Welcome.
What's a ward?
You don't have a ward.
Okay. So we are here representing Scouts PSA, more specifically Troop 19. Sorry, 9019 is my troop. So a little background. We are a linked troop in South Salem, made up of a boys troop and a girls troop. And we have been operating in South Salem since 1940. As I said earlier, my name's Grace Perry, and I am a recent Eagle Scout of Troop 19.
Congratulations.
Yes, your name again.
Yes, and my name is Adam Rigg, and I am also an Eagle Scout at Troop 19.
We both just finished our month term of leading our troop as senior patrol leaders. And we would love to share with you one of our aspects of community service that we love to do. So, Troop 19 has been putting up and taking down flags on the West Salem Bridge for many years now. We love this tradition for our troop, and we would like to keep it alive because we like to represent our city and our community. And as Scouts, we believe that there is a duty to our country, which is mentioned in the Scout Oath. And we also think that many Scouts have gone on to serve in the military, and that we should honor them and their sacrifice, especially the many Eagle Scouts who've gone on to do that. And we have also seen that the community enjoys that we do this service for them as well. We've seen honking and waving as we put the flags up on the bridge. And I'll let my co-SPL, Adam, tell you a little more.
Okay. So,
I'm sorry, just to interrupt you for 1 second. For the timekeeper's sake, we're going to give them 6 minutes since they're kind of sharing it together. So go ahead.
Okay, thank you. We put up flags to honor our veterans and our city, and we feel our lack of flags is a disgrace to what we have in our inventory. We currently have 18 flags, which is not enough to cover the bridge that we put them on. And it'd be a nice way to give back to the community if we could get 112 new flags, correct? And let's see, where's the number? And a $1,300, $1,300 to help get locks from Home Depot to secure the flags. That way they don't walk away, because our numbers have dwindled over the past, I don't even know how many
years.
Yeah. With additional flags, we can be able to expand our flags on the bridge and properly put flags across the bridge and make it look better. What?
To add on to Adam's point earlier of us only having 18 flags, so we've done this in the past and we already have a few flags. So, but right now the 18 flags we have, we set up the flags on both sides of the bridge, and because we only have 18, we have to split that to 9, so it doesn't even really cover like half the bridge on either of the two bridges on West Salem. So yeah, we're asking for 112 flags so that we're able to fully display flags on both bridges so that we are able to better honor our veterans on the days where flags are put up on that bridge.
Do you know how much the flags are each?
I do not.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
That's all right. I was just curious. Councilor Stapleton.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming down and speaking tonight. So you're asking for 112. How many flags fly on each of the bridges? And I'm guessing you want a few extra in case things walk away and such.
I'm not exactly sure on the exact amount for each bridge. I haven't really counted. But yeah, I'm assuming within that 112, we're accounting for extras and we're accounting for both bridges.
Great, thank you.
So we actually have a staff person here that can talk to a little bit about this issue. One of the challenges with those two bridges is they're not actually ours. Even though they're in the city, they're a state highway, and so they're actually owned and maintained by the state of Oregon. But we have Mr. Brian Martin here. He's our acting public works director, who might be able to speak with you a little bit about that.
Yes, absolutely. Brian Martin, acting public works director. As the mayor had pointed out, those are ODOT bridges. We would be more than happy to help coordinate with ODOT to help you, get those flags up. If there's any technical specifications or something on what you want to use for the locking systems, we could certainly help you with those as well. So we can certainly help in any way that we can.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Are there any other questions or comments? Councilor Phillips.
Yeah, thank you both for your leadership and being here tonight. I guess my question would be, as just a citizen or a community member that's interested in this, and I remember doing similar things in Grants Pass, Oregon when I was growing up, where would community members go if they want to donate to this cause or help you guys raise funds? Is there a website or?
You would.
So, sorry, Adam.
Hey, you just take the lead. That's great. It's Women's History Month.
I'm used to that.
It's no problem.
So our committee chair, sitting over right there with his hand up, his name is Mr. Greaves. He is the one who handles all our finances for our troop. So he would be who you guys would go through with that.
I've been in contact with that gentleman. You want me this morning? I forgot your names.
With Brian Martin?
Brian Martin.
Yeah. Great. I think another avenue for you would be also to talk to State Representative Paul Evans. Those bridges are both in his district. He's a member of the state legislature, and he has a lot of influence over ODOT, and he is also a veteran, and I know he cares about this issue very deeply. And so I would think that he might be a great advocate for you as a person who would be willing to help you navigate that state process as well, and I'd be happy to put you in contact with him as well.
Okay, that would be good. Thank you. Also, update on the price. So looks like the flags are $6.73 each. So yeah, there's that.
Well, that was great resource, being very resourceful there, getting that information just right at your fingertips. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I got a phone handed to me.
Nice. That's how you get it done. I want to thank you both for your leadership and coming down and talking to us. And you did a great job, both of you. Thank you so much, and we really appreciate you being here.
All right. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
You bet.
Thank you so much.
Councilor Stapleton, the consent calendar.
Yeah, I move approval of the consent calendar.
Second.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we have items 3.1A, the February 13th, 2023 draft city council minutes. Item 3.1B, February 21st, 2023 draft city council work session minutes. Item 3.2A, initiating a Class 2 vacation of First Street Northwest. Item 3.2B, dedication of a reserve strip of land identified as Tract C of Woodscape Green Phase 1 as public right-of-way. Item 3.2C, dedication of a reserve strip of land identified as Block A of Woodscape Meadows Phase 3 as public right-of-way. Item 3.2D, a resolution dedicating city-owned property as public right-of-way to be known as Truax Drive Southeast. And item 3.2A, a grant agreement between the Salem Housing Authority of the City of Salem and the City of Salem for the Homeless Rental Assistance Program. And item 3.3B, a claim settlement authorization. And that concludes our consent calendar.
Thank you, Councilor. Is there discussion? If the recorder will please call the roll.
Counselor Hoy.
Aye.
Counselor Nordyke.
Aye.
Counselor Varney.
Aye.
Counselor Stapleton.
Aye.
Counselor Nishioka absent. Counselor Phillips.
Aye.
Counselor Gwynn.
Aye.
Counselor Gonzalez.
Aye.
Mayor Hoy.
Aye. Motion passes. All right. We have no public hearings, so we're on to item 5, special orders of business. So we have item 5A, Annual Historic Landmarks Commission Report, and we have Andy Zimmerman here. Andy, come on up. Thank you for being here. Be sure and just hit that button and turn the mic on if you would. There you go. Perfect. Introduce yourself for the record, please.
Hello, my name's Andy Zimmerman. I'm in Ward 7. I'm the chair of the Historic Landmarks Commission. And good evening, Mayor Hoy and our city councilors. You have received our 2022 annual report and 2023 work plan. And in 2022, in addition to our regular historic design review work, we continue to do important work to help educate our community about Salem's history and to help historic property owners fund projects through our residential toolbox program, which is now in its 13th year. And last year, we also celebrated the Civic Center's 50th anniversary. And we continued working with the Highland neighborhood, our newest heritage neighborhood. And we have some interesting projects ahead with that. We continue to expand our presence on social media and working with KMUZ FM radio to share historic project updates as well as some fun history facts about the city and our community. And so residents are able to learn more about the HLC, Salem history, as well as opportunities to get involved with the city. And we also had an archaeology day in April that provided hands-on learning experiences at a dig at the Willamette Heritage Center site. And we're planning on another opportunity for folks to kind of get out there and kind of get involved and learn a little bit more about our city's past. And next month we are launching our 9th annual historic photo contest. So if anyone's interested in capturing pictures of their favorite historic neighborhood or building or just kind of that quintessential Salem photo, we'd love to have some submittals. And thank you for having me tonight. And the commission greatly appreciates the mayor and the city council for supporting our work. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Councilors, do you have questions or comments? Councilor Nordyke.
Thank you so much for your service on the commission. Can you explain for the community's information, how old does a building need to be for it to qualify as historic?
Depends. Are you meaning like officially like a historic resource kind of a thing?
Sure.
Like we have areas of downtown where we have within like historic districts, like individual places can be like on the historic register. We have like neighborhoods as well. The dates I'm not 100% sure on in terms of the actual years. A lot of it depends too on the condition of the property. A building could be old, but if it's had so much work done to it, if it doesn't contain those historical characteristics, then it's one of those things where it's kind of tough to categorize it as historic. But I know that we've been successful in working with property owners throughout the city and in the neighborhoods to identify which properties have that value as a resource. And one of the things we always do is encourage community members that have an interest and think, okay, well, I have this older house. What can I do with it? What things like can I use the toolbox on, that kind of stuff. So we encourage that dialogue with folks to come to us and hopefully we can find a way that they can, kind of shine up their home or their business a little bit, as well as, kind of burnishing the historical aspects of it as well, and providing some information for hopefully other neighbors that maybe see something like that, or for the community just to enjoy in general as they pass by that property.
Can I have a follow-up, Mr. Mayor?
Certainly.
Can you estimate how many homes in the city of Salem are on the National Register of Historic Places right now?
I don't know if I could estimate per se. I think one of the things, like, we have historic neighborhoods, and so that's a little bit different than like historic homes themselves. I know in a lot of the cases when it's a historic home, it's a situation like they, self-initiate to get on the registry. And I don't know the specific number. I know that we've had workshops in the past, pre-COVID, where we've encouraged folks to come out there and kind of talk about their homes where they may be in that window where they could apply and go through the efforts to get that done. But it's definitely been an ongoing thing for us as a commission to encourage folks to talk with us and to see the opportunities that are available to them if they choose to go, in that route, or just to improve their own property to kind of return it back to that historical glory. You're welcome.
Councilor Stapleton.
Thank you. Thanks so much for coming down and giving us this great update. On a couple of your goals, you have funding needs identified. One of them is Goal 3, the other is Goal 5. Goal 3 is about your Toolbox grant program. Can you tell us where do you get the funds that you have now, and how many different projects are you able to do with those funds? And are you looking for city funds to be identified, or are you looking outside the city for different types of grants, more on a state or national level?
Most of the funding that I'm aware of, we've gotten through grants. I don't know of any that we've gotten directly from the city. I know that we've researched different opportunities where we can access, other monies. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of been what our goal is, to continue to do that and to work to find suitable opportunities for us to, embark on different projects.
Yeah, and I thank you. And I have heard about the Toolbox grant. I myself own an old home, and so we are always looking for ways to work on it. But I hadn't heard about the Green Fund grant, which is about restoring window restoration and energy efficient improvements, solar panels, etc. Is that recent and new? And how many people are interested in getting that?
I think that is pretty recent and new, and I'm not sure the numbers. I haven't heard yet if we've had anybody actually apply to participate in that. And one of the things that has, like I mentioned before, like with COVID and everything, we kind of weren't able to do a lot of the workshop actions that we did previously. And so our hope is to kind of start doing more of those things and kind of engaging the public a little bit more on different opportunities that are available. We've had a lot of success engaging different neighborhood associations and community members previously about opportunities and kind of directions in terms of historical preservation. You know, here's some opportunities where we can look into some grants and some monies. So we want to really do those kind of things again going forward. So hopefully by this time next year, we'll have a little bit more information in terms of successes or some folks that were able to take advantage of such opportunities.
Great, thank you so much, and thank you for your service, and please pass along our gratitude to the whole commission. There's so many different ways that we all can work together to make our city a great place to live and be, and this is just another unique way that we get to participate, so thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Other questions or comments? Any closing thoughts?
This is participating on the Historical Landmarks Commission has definitely been something I've enjoyed in my time. And the experiences that I appreciate the most are the responses from the community. When we educate and provide information to folks that maybe they didn't know something happened in Salem, or the story behind why things are the way they are, or a specific resource that we have. And people are really appreciative and enthusiastic when you tell them a little bit more about the story behind the buildings or the people that helped kind of create our downtown and some of the beautiful homes and buildings that we have in our community. So it's been a real rewarding project for me, and each year that I've been a part of it, I've just noticed how much the community really enjoys the work that our entire commission does, and I'm enthusiastic about what we'll be doing in the future coming years.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your service on the commission. We really appreciate it, and I share Councilor Stapleton's sentiments. Thank you and all of the commissioners. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're on to item 5B. That is my motion. I move to direct staff to return to City Council with a plan to implement paid on-street parking in the downtown parking district and phase out the parking district tax.
Second.
So our downtown parking system is broken, and it has been broken for a number of years. It's not working for local businesses, it's not working for customers, it's not working for the people who work down there, and it's not working for the city. So this motion is an attempt to fix that system. We've studied the issue multiple times. Every time the answer is implement paid parking. During this process, I would like to see input from downtown business owners and property owners, because those aren't always the same, downtown residents, downtown workers, including service industry workers, who are very much impacted by our parking policies, customers who don't live downtown, and I also want to see input from parking enforcement officials, because those are the folks on the ground every day who really understand this issue intimately. So I want this to be, I want to make sure that we gather information from a lot of, all the stakeholders, essentially. But my goal is to implement basically the program that has been recommended to us by our Downtown Advisory Board on multiple occasions, I think 3 occasions at least in the last couple of years, by numerous studies, and I just think it's time. And I mentioned this before, Salem is coming of age, and this really feels like the next step in that I know that it's the thought initially of paid parking downtown isn't super exciting for folks who want to go down there, but I think that if you go to any other city of size, that's just how it works. We can't afford to adequately maintain our parking garages currently because the taxes that we collect on the parking district don't They're not enough. They're decades old, and it just doesn't work. I think that our current policy, and it's one because of the way we do it, where you can't return to the same block twice in one day, is the most business and customer unfriendly policy around, and I can't wait to see that go away, because I don't want to have to think about, gee, was I here for a meeting this morning and now I'm back at the same place this afternoon and subject to a ticket because you can't return to the same block twice in one day currently. I can't wait for that to go away. I'm so excited. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Are there other questions or comments? Guest Councilor Manville.
City Attorney, can I speak on this? Just thank you.
You can do everything except make a motion and vote.
All right. I wasn't sure since the motion was already open. Yep. Thank you. Thank you for this. Certainly, Ms. Doherty and you covered some high notes. 1935 was the year the first parking meter was invented. And it was invented by Oklahoma City businesses who were tired of people not being able to get to their places. And there was a lot of skepticism about it at first, but they implemented it in 14 blocks. Proco meter number 1 and 14 blocks of other parking meters. And then they decided a lot. They liked it a lot, and they expanded it across their downtown. It was a nickel an hour, but parking tickets were $20.
Ouch.
Which today would be $437. So I don't think that's the direction this city will go.
Probably not.
But just a little bit of history and context that we're about, 88 years behind Oklahoma City. And as I like to say, with parking in popular places, it can be 2 of 3 things: free, available, and convenient. So if it's free, it's not going to be available. Or convenient. You can walk, you can find a place 5 blocks away, which is free and available. It's not convenient. You can pay a little bit of money and it's available and convenient. Or the third iteration. So that's really what we're trying to, what it feels the city's trying to do. Mr. Mayor, you described all the recommendations up to now. So I'm excited about this. I will not urge you to vote anyway on it, but I'm excited about it.
Well, thank you. And we really didn't plan to have you here on this, and I didn't know you were going to be here on the night I made this motion, a person who knows more about parking than I do, by far. So thank you for your comments. Other comments? Councilor Nordyke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the only concern that I have with the motion is that it's not a motion to study and obtain public input on whether to implement paid parking. It just says, I move to direct staff to come up with a plan to implement paid parking. And I would like to see more public input from Salem 350 Salem, from a variety of community members who will be impacted by the parking change if we immediately proceed to that. Mr. Mayor, you mentioned studies in the past. I'm not aware of them, and I don't see them attached to the motion. I don't know how recent they are. I Googled it, and I see there was a study back in 2018, and a lot has changed since 2018. So the only concern I have is just about process. I want to make sure that before we make a decision on whether to change from unpaid to paid street parking, that we've had an opportunity to hear from the business owners who will be directly impacted by this, the minimum wage workers who have to find parking if they're not able to use public transit or walk, the folks who call the downtown area home. So I would like to see more robust public input before I would feel ready to make a vote one way or the other about paying on street. But I'm glad that this has come up because I think we do need to examine these issues. I do think we need to make a decision about how best to address parking revenue needs, climate change needs, greenhouse gas emissions. Councilor Manville knows I was certainly instrumental in our decision about removing parking mandates in the past. So I'm very much interested in the climate change impacts that could result from this, but I'd like to get more public input before I feel ready to vote on a motion as structured as such.
Thank you, Councilor. Just to be clear, I don't think that an affirmative vote tonight would implement paid parking downtown. I think it would initiate a process where the staff would go prepare that through some sort of process, and we can talk to Ms. Rutherford about how that might look. And then we would certainly have some sort of public hearing or public, at least, airing of the issue before we were ever to make a vote to actually implement whatever plan they come up with. So in my mind, we're just asking staff to go explore this and come back with a proposed plan, and then we can choose at some later date to either implement it or not implement it or amend it or whatever. Ms. Rutherford, do you have thoughts or comments?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You mentioned the 2018 study, Councilor Nordyke. We have studies going back to 2006 with the first recommendation to move to a paid system occurring in 2010 after 5 years consecutively of meeting the threshold of 85% occupancy. That occupancy level has continued through 2018. We stopped doing them in 2018 because we were spending money each year getting the same results without implementing paid parking. So we made a decision just to, cut that out of our budget rather than continuing to pay for the somewhat expensive studies. We are going to undertake a new study this fall so we can kind of have the post-COVID assessment, and also with new housing coming online. With this last study, we did not have the Coase apartments online. We've got the Nordstrom apartments coming online. We've got the hotel coming online, all which are going to have a significant impact to downtown parking, and we think will further drive up that occupancy rate. So the 85% threshold, I think we're going to be seeing that back up in the 90s. Following this next study. So in terms of implementing paid parking and doing any sort of outreach or study, back in probably around 2011, 2012, the city did convene a task force to look at paid parking downtown. And that's what led to this sort of parking around the donut hole that downtown is, where we've implemented paid parking pretty much everywhere around downtown, except we did not downtown within the parking district. Not because there wasn't a need, not because the data didn't indicate that we had a need, but it was more based on community feedback. And the community just was not ready, I think, at that time to make a shift to a paid on-street parking. But we would certainly could have an open house. We could engage the community. We already know that there are a significant number of downtown, those that have their home downtown, like our Downtown Advisory Board or members of Salem Main Street, that have been proponents of paid downtown parking for a number of years. But we could certainly broaden that outreach and get more input. And the next steps for this would be to come back to City Council with a proposal for how we would move that forward and what that community outreach would look like.
Thank you, Ms. Rutherford. Councilor Stapleton.
Thank you so much. I too am really excited about this motion, and I know Councilor Nishioka was as well, and was sad that she wasn't going to be here to advocate for this as the other councilor for downtown. And I also want to mention Kara Kaiser, who is my predecessor, who was also excited about downtown parking, paid parking. And so I feel great being here tonight and taking this step. There's a couple of things that have changed downtown in years that are recent, and that would be that we have so many more residents now in downtown, and most of them or a lot of them are parking on the streets and receiving free parking overnight. And that doesn't quite strike a balance with the businesses that are trying to run their businesses downtown. With a paid parking system, we do have an increase in turnover, which is only beneficial to our downtown businesses, and it would end the business tax that we currently have, which is really important because we want to support our local small businesses as much as we can so that they're thriving. And this would also support our downtown in ways that we haven't seen in a long time. Things like hanging baskets in the summer, or Christmas lights or holiday lights in the winter. Extra cleaning, which is a challenge as it is now, and really sustaining our parking garages as a place that people want to go and park if they don't want to pay for on-street parking. So I fully support this. I'm really excited about the outreach that will be done as part of this process, because I think we are ready. I think we are there as a community and ready to support this as we move forward. So really excited. Thank you for bringing it forward.
Thank you, Counselor. Other comments? Counselor? Oh, Counselor Gonzalez, thank you. Online, then I'll come to you.
Thank you, Mayor. I first want to announce our family does own a business in downtown Salem. And the only thing I will suggest, and I request of the staff, is maybe come back with more than one. Because there won't be a perfect plan, because this keeps getting changed and trends change. So I'm always curious to see if there's more than one way to solve this. Also, hopefully they're going to reach out to private people that own parking lots in downtown. Make some kind of deal with them, talk to them. A lot of those places go unused, for most of the day. And the type of businesses that will be involved, I'm hoping that it's diverse too. A little boutique, barbershops, restaurants, the ones that rely on delivery services like DoorDash and them. They're all going to have an opinion. So it'd be nice that group is diverse, not just maybe the usual suspects, and they're welcome too. And then also, there's a certain amount of people in our city that are unbanked. So whether these are just credit card or electronic or Apple Pay, when we rely on pay devices that don't allow cash, we're automatically pushing away people that do not have access to checking or banking accounts. There's always a certain amount of people that don't have that. So hopefully there's an option for them too.
Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you.
Counselor Phillips.
Thank you, Mayor Hoy, and thank you for the motion. I'm prepared to vote for it as is. What I'm hearing, and I think staff is confirming, is that there will be a continued effort to get appropriate public input from all stakeholders and community members that care about this issue. And in the last couple of years, just in the last month, I feel like we've had pretty consistent testimony that the way things are is just not tenable. And we have multiple responsibilities as counselors. Serving on the budget committee, there's lots of constraints that we're stuck with, and this definitely, we've got to do something. And I think that this is a very reasonable, solid step to get to the next step in the process. I guess I would end, and I don't know which staff to ask this to, but realistically, are we talking this is the first of 2 steps, or is it more like 3 to 4 steps? How will that look moving forward, just, basically speaking?
Ms. Rutherford, do you have?
My anticipation of next steps would be that in a couple of months, we would return to council with a proposal of a plan to start the implementation that would include, these are the different organizations, or kind of what the outreach plan is going to look like. We know already from research that we've been doing that once we start the procurement for the equipment, we're still looking at about 20 months before things are up and running. So we could, continue outreach and education, start with that and continue it once we have placed an order for equipment. And when equipment is installed, that would also continue, to help people understand how to use the equipment. So that would be an ongoing process throughout that whole, procurement and implementation piece.
Other Councilor Hoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just wondering about a projected price tag for the project. Is there any idea what it might cost?
I don't have that offhand, but I could bring that back. We do have budget within the downtown urban renewal area that would pay for the equipment and the installation.
I also know we received an email from a churchgoer. Apparently some machines weren't working last Wednesday while church service was going on, and several people got tickets. So if we could figure out the maintenance of those machines and make sure that they're working. And cash. I'm with you on the cash. I think if we don't offer cash opportunities, we eliminate some folks from parking.
Other questions or comments? Councilor Nordyke.
Thank you. I appreciate the comments about public outreach. I've been on council long enough to see situations where by the time we reach the opportunity for public input, the cake is already baked. And that's what I want to avoid. And we've seen many motions before that have an open-ended context about, I move to direct staff to come back with what these options would look like. Do we stick with the system that we have? Do we change it? Do we start on paid parking? But what I'm still hearing is that we're going to come back with a plan to start paying for parking, not whether it's a good idea. And that's what I'm not hearing from the conversation here. So all that I really want to emphasize is the need for public input before the most important decision pieces are made, before we decide what the equipment would look like. And it's hard to know when we have a bare bones motion that doesn't have projected costs like Councillor Hoy asked for, didn't even mention really what the outreach would look like. And so public outreach must be a part of something because downtown impacts everybody. It impacts everybody's ward, even if we don't live in there, even if we don't work there. And I just worry about how that will be perceived by some who think that we're just making this decision. We're going to go forward, we're going to implement it, we'll nod our heads when we hear public input, and that'll be the end of it. So all I want to say is let's make sure that if this council votes to approve and move forward with a plan to implement paid on-street parking and to phase out the parking district tax, that everyone keep an open mind as we move forward. And as I said, I want to look at what the climate action costs are of the current system. I'd like to see what we can do to incentivize people to find public transit to go downtown. I want to see all of that. But I just want to make sure that we're doing things in order. And to me, it starts with public input and it ends with public input. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. And I guess maybe I wasn't speaking clearly when I did the discussion part of my motion, but I'll just requote myself. I want to see input from the downtown business and property owners, downtown residents, downtown workers, including service industry workers, customers who don't live downtown, and I also want to see input from parking enforcement officials. So I absolutely want to have public input during this process. There will certainly be a public engagement before we take any vote to actually implement any plan. And so, yeah, I definitely want public comment as well and public input in this process.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, I don't see that in the motion, so it must be, maybe it's in another version, but the version online doesn't state that.
It wasn't part of my motion, it was part of my discussion in support of the motion.
Okay. All right.
Other discussion? Councillor Varney.
Thank you, Mayor Hoy. I just wanted to mention, I understand your point, but I don't see how this motion excludes people from participating in the discussion and the development and whether this moves forward. I'm interested in it. I've received a number of emails and concerns from people who don't feel comfortable parking in our parking garages. And we need more revenue in order to provide the lighting, the security, other enhancements that will ensure that people feel safe parking there. And so in that respect, I'm very interested in just seeing this plan and getting this discussion going.
Thank you, Councillor. Further discussion? All right. If the recorder will please call the roll.
Councillor Nordyke.
Nay.
Councillor Varney.
Aye.
Councillor Stapleton. Aye. Councillor Nishioka absent. Councillor Phillips.
Aye.
Councillor Gwynn.
Nay.
Councillor Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councillor Hoy.
Aye.
And Mayor Hoy.
Aye. Motion passes. All right. On to information reports. We just have 2 this evening. Are there any questions or comments for staff on item 6A? Thanks for coming, everyone. Yes, guest Councillor Manville.
Thank you. Footnote number 6 talks about costs going up because the unusual number of crashes into signal and streetlight equipment. And I didn't know if the city can ever recapture that from somebody who crashes into, am I looking at the road? Yeah.
Is that on item 6A?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So yeah. So footnote, end notes. It's an end note, sorry.
An end note.
It's an end note, page 5. Talks about crashes. Higher than usual number of crashes into signal and streetlight equipment. And I didn't know if we can ever recapture that from those who crash into city equipment, or if that's just part of doing business and we're the, whatever, not the Pottery Barn or whoever, like.
I'm not sure if we want to go to Public Works, City Attorney, or perhaps Risk, but it looks like Mr. Martin has his light on, so we'll try there first.
Sure, I'll go ahead and start. We do try to recover all those costs. We're not always successful because it's like anything else when you're working with insurance companies. It's not always the easiest to recover fully what you need, but we do work with it and we try our best to cover as much as we can.
Okay, so insurers often pay for that. Thank you. That's helpful information.
Thank you. Other questions on item 6A? Great. How about item 6B? Councilor Nordyke.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. So I wanted to just draw folks' attention to the Economic Development Quarterly Report. I know that this is information only, but it's a great example of some of the things that we're working on to support the business community in the area. And I just want to draw people's attention to it. I mentioned the Yamasa property in my opening comments, but in addition to that, we're also working with the former Whitlock's building to transform that into 8 rental units and to expand a coffee shop and to work at other projects, to take a property that's just sitting there and to turn it into something that will be economically beneficial for everybody involved, which is really exciting. We also are taking a look at the North Gateway URA grant program, and they are matching private funds to start improvements on existing buildings on Portland Road Northeast. So that's helping a small business in Northeast Salem get their food processing manufacturing equipment. That's a big deal. Getting that manufacturing equipment could be a game changer for this local business. So the fact that we have grants like this that are working for local businesses, for groups that have decided to locate their business here in Salem is really exciting. And I just want to commend our URA staff for working so hard to make all these things happen. This isn't just something that happens with a magic wand. It takes a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of technical expertise. So I just want to say kudos to the Urban Renewal area staff and to Kristen, Director Rutherford, for all your work, because this does not happen by accident, not any of it. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Councilor. Other comments on 6B or questions? All right, we are now on to first readings.
Ordinance Bill number 323, an ordinance designating the Salem Civic Center located at 555 Liberty Street Southeast, Salem, Oregon, as a local historic resource.
Councilor Stapleton.
I move that we conduct a first reading to consider ordinance bill number 3-23, designating the Salem Civic Center as a local historic resource, and after a public hearing, advance it to a second reading for enactment.
Second.
Discussion?
Sure. I wanted to say thank you so much for this staff report. I know many of us read it and were thrilled to learn so much about brutalism. That was fabulous. It just develops more and more pride in your community, and I'm really excited to see this move forward.
Thank you, Councilor. You know, I visited Boston late last year and happened to visit the City Hall. And I was struck at how similar the architecture was to our very own brutalist concrete structure. So we have a lot in common with Boston, so in that way. Other comments? All right, if the recorder will call the roll.
Councilor Varney.
Aye.
Councilor Stapleton.
Aye.
Councilor Nishioka absent. Councilor Phillips.
Aye.
Councilor Gwynn. Aye. Councilor Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilor Hoy.
Aye.
Councilor Nordyke.
Aye.
Mayor Hoy.
Aye. Motion passes. All right, we have no second readings. We have already disposed of item number 8. So therefore, we are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Nice job with Women's History Month.
Well, thanks.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it felt good.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Great meeting. Much better than having somebody come in.
Yeah. For the first time.